man. Tell me how you want me to do it. Emilio Pua, Lucha, Lua, have a down Collins, sipping on Kahlua. Opium of Prive, 13 Flua. Then what? The same night I meet her like I knew her. Newer version of Goldie, bundles the Mac man. The Mac the dick like I'm holy. Who is Stack Man? Pac Man, I fuck him and be ghost. Doggy style jeans on, hand on my toes. And you ain't even close to what we consider a pimp. You out your monkey ass mind, type we consider a chimp. She headed the wrong place, I headed the wrong place. Looking in my eyes, mind, you staring at the wrong face. For real. Face it, I'm the dawn. Flash the bracelet, get it and taste it, then I'm gone. So bitch, get your act together. My life's a movie, I leave you in that act forever.
What up, podcasters? I'm one half for the Goldmembers Podcast. Certified gold member Herb Reed.
I'm the other half of the Goldmembers Podcast, man. Certified gold member, man. Tyson, man. Make sure y'all follow us on social media at Goldmembers Podcast on Instagram. Make sure y'all follow us. Tap in.
Most definitely. And check us out on all the top streaming platforms for all of our past shows and latest content. You already know, bro. What's happening, man? I'm happy to be back, man. This is episode number 10.
You hear? You know what I heard?
That's a dime for you, right
know
there.
Old head told me.
What?
Old head, he love the media space. He gonna tell me. He said, "Oh, y'all over 7 episodes in. That mean y'all are in it."
Yeah.
Because they said if you don't make it past 7 episodes, you're done. Like
Yeah,
you usually
yeah.
quit by episode 7. So we here, man, back with another one.
Nah, for sure. We here to stay. You heard? We ain't going nowhere.
Back with another one. But this weather today was kind of crazy.
It's been nasty outside.
Getting cold, but today was like trees blowing over. School delays, all types of shit like that today, man. So it's been a long day. I can't wait to get in the motherfucking house, though.
Yeah.
Watch me a movie or something.
Exactly. And actually, for all of our supporters and everybody that listens to the Goldmembers Podcast, this is the perfect weather for you to stay in the crib and binge watch all of our old podcasts, or binge listen, I should say, to all of our old podcasts, man. So, you know, if you in a crib, you don't got nothing to do, tap in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, or Google, man. Go check out the latest episodes, man. We got previous 9 shows that we got up there, and we got some really good episodes. So check that out on your free time.
Yeah, man, bro. What we getting into today, man? I seen some stuff. You know, it's our time of year, man. NBA, man, basketball season and football season at one time, but we really into the basketball thing. That's our world. So what you think about what's been going on in the league, man? They had a recent list that came out. We kind of brushed over it the last time because we didn't really get into it. It just came out that day.
Yeah.
But there was some real snubs to that 75 anniversary list that I feel should be on there. That you feel should be off of there.
Nah, I'd agree with you. Yeah. You know, that top 75 list. I mean, I'm always a little skeptical when they do list anyway, because I always feel like somebody's going to be left off
all the time.
And then you always got to consider who are these people doing this list. But for the simple fact that it came from within the NBA, you know, I guess it's a little hard to argue with it, you know, rather than like fans doing it or some media outlets doing it. This was the actual NBA that put this list out. So
yeah, that's what I was saying. Also, the only thing I didn't like about the list, I felt bad about the list, was when it was like there's like certain legends that didn't make the list twice. Like, you know, they had the 50 greats. I don't know why, but 50 greats sounds the best to me. I feel like you got to take some people out if you want to put somebody in the 50 greats. Like 50 greats the best. 75 greats don't even sound appeasing to me for real. But there's still some legends that really did some real good work. Like I think Alex English, he did some real work in the league for years, and he didn't make it 2 times. Like, you know what I mean? He didn't make it for the 50-year anniversary or the 75-year anniversary. So that kind of hurt some of them old heads, man. I feel bad for them from not making it. You know, some of these dudes still got time to make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, for sure. I mean, and then there was a lot of players from our era who I felt should have been on it as well. I mean,
one that I think should have made it, that did make it, was Dwight Howard. I know people were like, nah, he shouldn't have got in, but if you lead the NBA and rebounded 3-4 years in a row, defensive player 3-4 times in a row, like you get your team to the finals as a young man, like you wasn't even that old, even though you lost to Kobe, like, you know what I mean?
Lost to Kobe.
it happens, but I feel like Dwight Howard definitely should be on that list, even though he got his ring kind of late with the Lakers. But he definitely contributed to that ring. It wasn't like he was out there getting 30 and 15 rebounds, but he helped get that bubble ring or whatever. So I don't know if they're not trying to count that. So they're like, man, fuck Dwight. Well, he got too much off the field booty bandit issues.
Yeah, I don't know. Dwight. Yeah, no, I remember those. I remember those early days of Dwight Howard. Not to mention he was one of those athletes who came out of high school,
#1 overall.
like you said, brought his team to the finals. Lost to Kobe. So and Kendrick Perkins actually made that same argument that Dwight Howard should have been on the top 75 list. So I mean, somebody out there agrees with you. You know what I mean?
How many Hall of Famers are there for real? Because it's like he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. T-Mac wasn't on the list. He's a Hall of Famer. Manu wasn't on the list.
Manu Ginobili. He's a NBA champion. Tony Parker.
5-time
NBA champion. Tony Parker. Who else?
Vince Carter.
I said Chauncey Billups should have been on there.
Chauncey's not on there?
NBA champion and a Finals MVP.
And Kyrie's not on there neither. I mean, I think that Kyrie got his reasons for right now. They ain't gonna put him on there. They ain't trying to do too much with him right now. But I feel like Kyrie could probably be on there as well.
Kyrie should be
some
on
of
there.
These dudes that did make it. I won't say nobody need to come off, but those are just the snubs that I feel like should have definitely been in there. Like,
nah, Kyrie should be on there. Klay Thompson, another one who should be on there. I mean, one of the greatest shooters, put up a 70 ball in the league in 3 quarters. You know what I mean? 3-time NBA champion, 3-point champion. I mean, definitely a Hall of Famer. Got to put Klay in there.
I was about to say he's definitely probably going to be second all-time 3-point makes if James Harden don't do it. But Klay should definitely be in there.
Klay got to be in there.
Klay got to be in there.
That's not even debatable. To me, it's not just
especially over the last 10 years, like what they've been doing.
Yeah, over the last 10 years, with him and Steph and the Golden State Warriors have done, and just like the fashion that they've done it in. I mean, again, he put up 70 in 3 quarters,
with 3 dribbles or some shit.
Yeah, with I think it was 11 dribbles or something like that,
that.
10 dribbles, something crazy like that.
He's actually got records and he's in the record books. Like, how does that look when you retire? You're a Hall of Famer. You got all these records. You're one of the top ever during your era, and you can't make the next 25. That's what I would call it, the next 25, because you got 50 greats, then they did another 25 piece in.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I feel like the NBA's kind of playing themselves and playing they veterans, they old heads. That's probably why they old heads are struggling right now a little bit, man, because you can't be doing that to them, man.
Yeah. So I mean, definitely some snubs on that list, man. So and I'm looking forward to Klay coming back this year and seeing what he does.
Cause I hope he can help them, man. The Warriors be in some real good hands if Klay could come back and be at least 75-80%.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking finals, because the way them Lakers look, man, they've been stinking it up.
And you know why?
What? Don't say because of Westbrook.
Because of Wayman Westbrook.
Nah, it's been all of it. Hustle actually had a good game last game. He actually they won because of Hustle last game.
LeBron didn't play.
Well, they won because of Hustle.
No, they won because of Melo and Anthony Davis. And Wayman Westbrook got to get it together. And I know you know why I'm calling him
the Lakers, I feel like got to get it together overall. They just don't have it right now.
Yeah, we said it last time. I think that what's the name just got to get his substitutions together. So.
Yeah. But your man Meek Mills is back in the news again, man. He released a set of tweets. You got them tweets on deck?
I sure do got them.
Go ahead, man. Let me hear what Meek's talking about.
First and foremost, man, I hope Meek's not back on them things, man, and doing no
on them perkies.
Nah, those gotta be out of the way.
Okay.
Those gotta be done. They got Fetty in them. Those gotta be done. He can't be doing that no more. Cause first of all, his tweets he started off with, he's spelling shit wrong. That's why when I said, "Oh, Meek, you deleted that tweet," that was terrible. He deleted the tweet where he spelled one thing wrong. So this is what he said: "I haven't get paid for music." That's how he started it. But it should be, "I haven't got paid for music." So he said, "I haven't get paid for music, and I don't know how much money labels make off me. I need lawyers ASAP." Right? Ask the record label, "How much money have you spent on me as an artist?" then ask how much have you made off me as an artist. I'm about to make my record deal public by Monday, just to let the world see what these people are on. I'm at war for everything that's mine. All ruthless vibes.
All ruthless.
That's the Douce and Lemonade talking.
The Douce and Lemonade.
Yeah, he's sipping something. He's out here doing something off the liquor and tweeting because he doesn't need to. Like, first of all, Monday came around. There's no fucking contract. You ain't supposing nothing. So stop talking that way while you're drunk because you look crazy the next day.
Right.
Right? Second of all, what are you doing even exposing that right now? Like, you got somebody like Ross on your side where he like to keep his business under wraps. Like, he don't let shit out the house. Like, he ain't trying to be out here in the public with it. But here you are on Twitter talking about your label. Who's your label? MMG is your label. You got another little deal with Rock Nation, but it's like, come on, like, keep that shit under wraps, bro. Like, you really starting to do a lot of female stuff. I ain't even gonna call it female stuff, but you're just doing a lot of stuff that is uncalled for, like little man shit, real immature shit. That's what you're doing, like, and like, why are you just now talking about this? Why are you just now finding this out? And why are you hanging with billionaires and you don't got no lawyers,
right?
And you don't know nothing about your contract.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with that? Like, where we going? What are we trying to do here? But you're over here pushing reform. You're pushing all this stuff. Like, I feel like later on, he gonna come back and he ain't gonna know nothing. Reform ain't gonna have nothing to do with him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, y'all here with Jay-Z. Y'all here with fucking Rob Kraft. Y'all here with all these billionaires. But you need a lawyer? So
and this wasn't Meek Mill's first deal neither. If people remember, he was signed to T.I. first.
Yeah, and T.I. passed him over.
And T.I. went to jail.
Yeah.
And then he released him from that contract. And then that's when Rick Ross signed him and he became an artist under MMG. And so you would think that someone would, and not to say that he had a bad deal with T.I., but you would think that someone would just learn through experience, from their first deal going into their second deal. And I mean, he's been in this MMG deal
about 10 years.
About 10 years, because T.I. did that year in jail some years ago. So, I mean, it's just like how, or like better, I think the better question is, who do you have around you? Oh, okay, because you don't have lawyers. You made that very clear, is that you don't have a team of attorneys around you. Mm-hmm. So who's around you? Who's around you that's advising you as far as your business, as far as your contracts, your revenue, your accounting, all of that stuff. Like, who are these people that you have around? You just got dream chasers around you?
That's what I'm saying.
It's just the dream chasers.
And they chasing dreams because they chasing your dreams for you. Because
right.
At the end of the day, they're not really doing much but doing things for you. So it's like, what are you really doing? Who are you putting in a position? If you putting all these people, where are you making money from? Touring? Because we just started touring again.
Right. And you know what? And I'm kind of, but I agree with you because he definitely shouldn't be putting this out.
No.
I think it's just bad business ethics to be putting out, a statement like that. Most contracts have like a NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, or something like that. So for him to be saying that, it is a little crazy to me. But even
it seems like he's kind of crying out for help a little bit. I ain't even gonna sit here and lie to you because there've been some times where he's just like if I look at it, Ross is not on his album,
right?
But Ross is on Wale's album. Then they had that little thing where they were saying Ross, they wouldn't let Ross inside of Meek's party a couple months ago and all this crazy shit like that. So it's like, if there's really something going on, handle that in a business manner for real, because that's really what's going on. Like, you're mad about the business deal, so you don't want this man at your party. You don't want him on your album. Like, you probably got one more album, but 2 more albums left. Get that shit done and make a move.
Well, that's why, and you're touching on something that's like really good as far as just like handling stuff in a business manner. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like people shouldn't follow athletes and entertainers when it comes to business, is because 1, you're not in their industry, and 2, it'll do you a strong disservice to handle yourself, especially when you're talking about a business relationship, to handle yourself in this manner, you know what I mean? Which is not a professional manner. Because then you got to think about who's going to want to work with you after this. You know what I'm saying? Or just, having an understanding of all the logistics that come around, being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, when you got someone like Meek Mills, who a lot of people idolize and a lot of people, look to for influence, and he's clearly not on top of his game when it comes to business. So, you know what I'm saying? So why would you follow someone or be influenced by someone who's not too business savvy themselves?
And then it's like, why sign to them too? Like, you know what I mean? Because I said it on the last part when we spoke about his album. I said that he should be pushing his artist Vori more and more.
Right.
But then I'm sitting here thinking, like, this nigga don't even know what his contract look like. So how he know what?
So how
shit? Like, what you doing with Vori shit? Like, how he looking at you? How is the people underneath you looking at you, and you don't even know where your money coming from musically?
Yeah, and I mean, and that's part of having that whole rapper celebrity image. A lot of people will look at Meek Mills and think that he's doing very well.
I mean, I feel like he's making money.
Yeah, I mean, he's making money. You know what I mean? More than the average entrepreneur
off his music.
Off his music, right?
Yeah.
And if you check out the last interview that he did on another podcast, he actually said in that interview that he doesn't make any money off of his music. Like, he said that clear as day in the interview. So, Yeah,
and that don't make no sense because you're an artist. So how you ain't making money off your art? That just don't make sense to me. So I don't know, man. So it's like that's where we got to the, like, you're chilling with Meek. I mean, you're chilling with Jay-Z. You're chilling with Rob Kraft. With the other billionaire. Would you rather be with a billionaire, bro, or take that $500K that they was talking about back in the day? Yeah. Remember back in the day when they started the whole thing, go on a dinner date with Jay-Z or take $500K? What would you rather do?
I'm taking the $500K.
This is proof right here that you should take the $500K off the blade. Ain't no way I'm not taking $500K. I'm not going to sit down with Jay-Z for nothing and then go home at night and be broke.
Right, and then wake up in the same position I was in yesterday.
What type of knowledge he gave me? I can't invest that knowledge that he just gave me into nothing.
Right, give me the $500,000, and I'll meet Jay-Z wherever I meet Jay-Z.
I'll see him again and have
I'll
a
see him
conversation.
again. Yeah, I'll see him.
I'll have
You give me $500,000. I'm flipping that to $1 million and $1 million and $5 million. So I'll see Jay-Z along the way.
Yeah, I'll see him somewhere at the Rock Nation brunch or something.
Somewhere.
I'll have a conversation that way, but fuck a conversation while I'm broke. And I'm saying broke, meaning I ain't got $500K.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, I question to y'all, man, would y'all take the $500K or would y'all go ahead, man, and take that date with Oprah or Jay-Z or Dr. Dre, any billionaire, fucking Kylie Jenner, if y'all want to take a fucking date with her, like, anybody, like, would y'all do that or would y'all take the $500K, man? Somebody please let me know, because we taking that money, man, and keeping it moving.
I'm taking the bread. But in further news, man, this was pretty tragic, man. But recently, on the set of a movie that's recently being shot, I believe the title of the movie is called Rust, and one of the featuring actors in the movie is Alec Baldwin, who's actually a very good fucking actor. He played in a bunch of movies. One of the movies that come to mind in my head is The Departed. He played a real good role in that. But famous actor, revered actor, and apparently while on set of the movie Rust, he was operating a prop gun or what they're calling a prop gun, and the gun discharged a real bullet and killed the director of photography on the set, and then injured another member of the production crew as well.
Oh, I thought that a cinematographer got killed and the director got grazed, like got shot.
I think it was the director of photographer, who was a woman.
Yeah,
she died.
Mm-hmm.
The cinematographer was wounded and lived.
Okay.
And so recently it just came out that they may be bringing criminal charges on Alec Baldwin. That's what the district attorney says. And I believe this took place. Hold on. Let me throw the frames on. You know I can't see without them. But it looks like this happened in Santa Fe. So it was the Santa Fe County District Attorney said on Tuesday that she was not ruling out criminal charges in last week's fatal shooting on a film set. The actor Alec Baldwin was rehearsing with a gun that he had been told did not contain live ammunition when it went off, killing the film's cinematographer and wounding its director. So you were right. We haven't ruled out anything, the district attorney says. So, I mean, pretty tragic, man. I mean, I would hate to see Alec Baldwin go to jail over something like this.
He definitely won't, because it's there's protocol on these sets. You know what I mean? For this somebody who's supposed to check those guns, make sure those guns are not real guns with real bullets in them. And the fact that somebody slipped up on their job, I don't even know if that's a slip up to me. Like, you're putting a real gun. You know you're putting a real gun in those situations. I mean, in those places when you're on set like that. Like, why? They said that there's a rule where you can't have live ammunition on a set, period. Security, anything like that. So it's like, how are these people letting like something like that slide, like as a mistake? You know what I mean? Not on his part, but on whoever's job it is to be checking those prop guns. Because the only reason why they have prop guns is for editing and shit like that in the video. It's going to be a lot for somebody, like, if they got fake guns, it's going to be a lot for somebody to edit those effects on every time somebody shoots. Somebody might have shot 1,000 times in a fucking high dramatic fucking film. Somebody might have shot 1,500 times. They can't do 1,500 effects and edits at the end. So that's why they got those prop guns in to make it seem like it look like you're shooting real bullets and a real spark come out of them.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like,
but I mean, this is not the first time, you know, something like this has happened.
It hasn't.
If you're,
It hasn't, right?
No, it's not. It actually, this is how Bruce Lee's son died, Brandon Lee. And I believe it was on the set of the movie The Crow, which I love. I'm a big fan of that movie. But it also happened to Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son. He died from the discharge of a prop gun. And I actually just read this this little detail that they had on what happened. It said Mr. Baldwin then rehearsed a scene that involved a cross drawing. Because I believe he plays, it's like a Western film where he plays an outlaw, and it says a revolver and pointing it toward the camera lens, according to the affidavit, when the gun fired, striking Miss Hutchins in the chest and killing her, and hitting the director of the film, Joel Souza, in the shoulder, wounding him. So apparently they were rehearsing a scene where he's drawing his gun and pointing it towards the camera, and then discharging the weapon for the scene, and it just so happened to be live ammunition in it, and actually shot and killed the lady. So, you know, again, man, prayers up for the family, prayers up for Alec Baldwin. I mean, he said that he came out and made a statement and sent his condolences to the families, and also said that he's working with police, you know, on this entire investigation. So I hope that works out pretty well, man. Tragic accident.
Me too, man. God bless the families, man, and I hope a speedy recovery to the director. I wonder if they're even going to continue with this movie.
They probably will. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of money
involved
in it. I'm pretty sure whatever they can get done and whatever they can salvage, they probably will. I mean, because like when it happened with Brandon Lee, The Crow still came out.
Yeah, it did.
And then that movie's out. You could actually watch that. I know that they had to get another actor. Well, they had to get another actor to replace Brandon Lee. I don't know what's going to happen, you know, with Alec Baldwin's character. I don't even know what the movie's about. I just know that it's a Western. Maybe he didn't have a huge role in it, you know, and maybe the film can go on without him. Who knows? I don't know. But, you know, maybe I guess we'll just have to wait and see, follow the story to see if the movie comes out. But the name of the film is called Rust. So if we see a movie called Rust, this is the film.
Man, prayers up to the family again, man, and speedy recovery, man.
Definitely. But I wanted to tap in, man, because for the city of Boston, there's a really big election that's happening this coming week, right here in our own hometown. The mayor's race, the Boston mayoral election, is taking place this coming Tuesday. Let me get the correct date because I don't want to put out any false information. It's November 2nd. So November 2nd, 2021, which is next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, I should say. the Boston mayoral election is going to take place, and we're down to the general election with just 2 candidates, and those 2 candidates are Michelle Wu, who I would say is the front runner for this election as of right now, and then we got Anissa Sabi George, who's also in the general election, and both incumbent city councilors. Both have given up their seat to run for Boston mayor. Both have, like I said, been on city council for a while. They have somewhat of a track record here in the city. And, you know, I just want to put it out there to people, man. We got to go out and vote. I mean, this is another one of them times. It's a local election. And typically what happens with local elections is that you don't see a big turnout. But I think that the impact of this election, you know, if you're in the city of Boston or from here, live here, work here, whatever, you're definitely going to feel the effects of this.
Word, and I think people should definitely go out there and make sure y'all are doing y'all research on these people, man. Make sure y'all learn about them. Make sure y'all know what the next 4 years is probably. Ain't it 4 years?
4 years.
The next 4 years is going to look like for us, you know what I mean? And make a wise decision. Don't go based off of what you heard or what you seen on the news or who you know is backing who. Make sure you find out exactly what these people are doing so that you know, man, because the next 4 years is going to be different. We had an opportunity, like I said, to put somebody in position that's like one of us, but we didn't. So I might as well make sure we know what we're getting ourselves into, man, before we go out and put somebody in position next Tuesday.
Yeah, and Boston is one of those cities. It's actually set up, you know, within the city charter. Boston is one of those cities where the mayor has the majority of the power. You know, so when it comes to city policies, when it comes to the city budget, you know, just different things like that, you know, the mayor has a lot of the power. Now, his counterparts, which is the Boston City Council, they have some power because, you know, there's a whole unit. You know, there's 13 of them. There's 13 city councils versus the one mayor. But the way that the city charters is set up and just like the balance of power, it gives a lot of power to the local mayor. And so, you know, we're going to see a lot of drastic changes over the next 4 years. I mean, one of the biggest things that's going to happen next year is redistricting. And redistricting takes place every 10 years. And this is where they literally redraw the lines of the districts in the city. So parts of Dorchester is going to change, parts of Roxbury, Hyde Park, Mattapan, you know, all the different districts, they literally redraw those lines. And the mayor has a strong say in that.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, like you said, some of these places will go from being Dorchester to Mattapan, or Mattapan to Dorchester, or Dorchester to Roxbury, depending on the town line and what they depend on, what they want to do. And you said that's next year?
That's next year. It happens every 10 years. The last time it happened was 2012, so we're coming up on 2022.
And look, and I think around that time is when they started saying that we got our own post office in Mission Hill.
Yeah.
They drew the line and took us out of Roxbury and said Mission Hill is its own district.
Yeah, I mean, there's many different ways that people are, you know, usually affected by this. I mean, it could affect your kid's school district. It could affect, if you're a property owner, it could affect the value of your house.
Yep.
You know, all of a sudden, if you own property, like you said, in Roxbury, and now all of a sudden it's considered, you know, parts of Dorchester, it could lose value, it could gain value. Or you could be on the positive side of that. You could own property in Roxbury and then they redraw the line. So now your property's in JP and now the value has gone up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's definitely going to have an effect on you. And that's just one of the things. You know, we're seeing a lot of things happening with transportation throughout the city.
Okay.
You know,
yeah, we are, especially with our roads changing.
Yeah, with our roads, I mean,
yeah.
that's you
a
know,
part of it. Yeah,
that's a part of it. That's some of the power that the mayor has and like that local government has. And so, see, these are some of the issues that's going to be impacted, you know, as soon as next year.
Who's backing Wu? Isn't it our most recent mayor?
Oh man,
yeah, our most recent mayor is backing her.
Yeah, Kim Janey, Ayanna Presley, Elizabeth Warren.
Ooh, she got him.
Yeah, she got him.
See, that's what I'm saying. Don't go based off of what you hear and what you see, man. Make sure you read and learn about her before y'all just go and place a vote. Because I be seeing Anissa, too, in a lot of places. I drive on the highway every day, and that lady's pink sign is blurring on 90.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I want some shit like that up there for me and the team, but, you know.
Yeah. No, but you know what? I'm happy that you brought that up too, as far as the people that are standing behind her and supporting her. And I want everyone, I'm gonna just say this, I want everyone to take a snapshot, a mental snapshot in your head of all the people who are standing behind these different candidates, because when it comes time, when these candidates are elected as mayor and they begin to make decisions that are negatively impacting us, we need to go back and look at all those people who stood behind that candidate and hold them accountable, because you endorsed that person
more than anybody
else. You know what I mean? We voted for you, and by you standing behind that person, you're representing us. So now when we want our issues to be heard, we expect you to have that same energy when it comes to delivering our messages and holding that mayor accountable.
I just think it's so crazy that they even like they hop off the bandwagon. It's like, I lost, so I'm coming over here to mess with you. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know why. I
that.
think I would just completely fall out the race. Like, I'm not looking for a job from you or nothing like that. Unless you want me, you got to come to me.
Right.
Like, yo, can you endorse me? You know what I mean? And I'm gonna ask you, what am I endorsing and why?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, can we come together on my wishes and what I wanted?
Right.
You know what I mean? How can we partner together?
Yeah.
You know
What am I getting out of this? And you know what? And we got to get out of that. A lot of people feel uncomfortable, like having that this for that type of conversation. Like, okay, yeah, I'll vote for you, but what are you gonna give me? A lot of people are like uncomfortable having that conversation, and to me that's a very sensible conversation, because you're clearly asking me for something. You're asking me to put you in a position of power
to better yourself,
really. So what are you going to do for me? You're asking me to empower you. How are you going to empower me? You feel me? So, you know, some people get caught up in the, I don't want to ask, I don't want to be connected. And it's like, well, don't come and ask me for nothing, because I'm not.
Gotta be the wording. It's gotta be like, yo, how can we partner? You can't even say what can you do for me and I can do for you. How can we partner?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know it sounds crazy.
We need to stop being nice about it and saying, how much you gonna pay me? How much money we talking?
You don't want to know where I'm getting with that.
That's where we need to be having the conversation.
You don't want me to go into detail with that.
Yeah, for real. I mean, because other than that, like, I don't need like soft promises. I don't need symbolic wins. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Like, we need something tangible. So yeah, you know, and again, that's a very sensible ask, because the mayor has a lot of power when it comes to the city budget. So why aren't we asking for money out of the city budget?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, if you're running for mayor, you're coming to me and asking me for my support and for my vote. I know that you control the city budget. The sensible thing for me to do is to ask you for some of the city budget next year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we got to start being, and it kind of ties into what you said around, you know, some of these black candidates. I feel like a lot of people's afraid to say what you said. You know, just around us dropping the ball, around not electing another black candidate. Like, we need to just say that. You know what I mean? Rather than trying to be Black Lives Matter and inclusive. And no, if we want a black mayor for this city, I think we need to just go out and just outright say that.
That's what we do need. I mean, we need something black for the people at least one time. What we needed, I don't think we're never going to get that opportunity like that again. The one that we had so many. I mean, I can't say that, because we are getting a lot of people in position out here right now, so I can't really say that. But I do hope and pray that one day we do get to see a black mayor here in Boston.
No, for sure, man, for sure. I think that day will come where we do elect a black mayor, into that seat. So I can see that coming. But if you're from the city of Boston, you're a resident in Boston, you're registered to vote, in the city of Boston, man. Make sure you get out, hit those polls. November 2nd, I believe the polls are open until 8 p.m. And this is a general election, man. It's a big one. So
word. And in the meantime, man, make sure y'all hop on IG, man. Right now, I don't care if you're driving, man. It's like, nah, when you get to work, man, whenever you get to start, man, make sure y'all tap in. Follow us on Instagram at Goldmembers Podcast, man. Make sure y'all tap in. Follow us, man. Keep y'all updated.
You already know. So, bro, we usually try to dig into something for the ladies, and you brought up a pretty interesting topic today around Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah, man, she got my boy out here looking crazy. I know he's out here waxing shit on the low, but she got my boy out here looking crazy, man. So the headlines read, Jada Pinkett Smith explains why it's hard to maintain a healthy bedroom life with husband Will Smith. That's another one of them things. I don't want her sitting at the red table talking about to the whole world. But she was talking to who? I forgot the
she had Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow, and she was explaining to her why it's so hard, for her to maintain. But she has a good, valid point. It is hard to keep something sparked and something flavorful for 22 years.
20 years.
That's how you do got to spice it up. You might have to go ahead your separate ways for a couple years or get a different house, whatever the case may be. But we don't got it. Like, everybody wanted that Jada and Will fucking relationship not too long ago. Man.
Right.
Like, we don't want no more salt on the wound of my nigga Will. After the young boy August, what he did.
She got these past couple years, man. She got Will looking crazy out here.
Sometimes I don't want to watch Fresh Prince.
I mean, she had people questioning my man's sexuality at one point. Mm-hmm. Then she had all types of entanglements with old boy August.
And then with money from Cali, he just came out and said she was fucking with money from Criss Cross back in the day.
Yeah, I did see that. Oh,
what's his name?
man.
Daz?
Yeah.
He was messing with He said, yeah, man, she been entangling. Like, but look.
She been
entangled. To each his own, man. She could do what she want to do. She could do it how she want to do it. I just feel like, why go and put your husband, like, got him out here looking like that?
Yo, and you know what? It's that damn show. That red table talk show, they be on some BS when it comes to that show.
Can you do me a favor and play the clip? You still got the clip?
Yeah, I got the clip. Let's play the clip. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump into this clip.
Because we need to hear what Jada got to say, man. Because when she said the whole part, like, I mean, if you know somebody for 20 years, but this, I'll say it after.
Yeah, she be violating. But we're going to go ahead and play this clip for y'all. This is Jada Pinkett Smith on the latest episode of Red Table Talks. And here's her statement about her sexual relationship, her sexual marriage with Will Smith.
It's incredible.
It's really hard.
I know. I
sure. mean, the thing that Will and I talk about a lot is the journey. I mean, we started in this at a very young age, 22 years old.
It's crazy.
That's why the accountability part really hit for me because I think you expect your partner to know, especially when it comes to sex.
Right.
It's like, well, if you love me, you should know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. If you love me,
you should be able to read my mind.
You should read my mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a huge pitfall.
That's a huge pitfall.
Yeah, it is. I hate that.
You know,
isn't it weird though? It's like someone doesn't read your mind and we feel crushed. Like, we feel so disappointed. Where do we get that from?
I don't know, because I don't feel like that at all. I guess, or maybe I've just grown out of it.
I think
it's like you got to tell me what you need. Like, I can't read your mind.
Right, because I've grown out of it too.
Yeah.
Tell me what you need. Tell me what you want. And on top of it, I know that I have to be accountable to do the same.
And do you?
I really try.
Yeah.
I mean, there you have it, man.
See, bro, that's where she kind of got me at. She said, if you love me, you should know.
Yeah, you should be able to read my mind. And you know what? You know what's funny? That's not so far-fetched because a lot of women nowadays have that same mindset where it's like, once I tell you, you should internalize that and you should just know. You should be able to read my mind from that point forward.
And the thing is, they don't even be married.
Yeah. I mean,
this is somebody that you're messing with for a year or a couple months.
Yeah.
You expecting them to remember all
these details about you.
Oh, I like raisins in my potato salad. Like,
right. Yeah. Like, what?
I'm supposed to know that? Like,
yeah. Like,
you know what I mean? But I don't know where she got that from because people change every day.
Right.
So over the years, like, how am I supposed to know what you want unless you constantly we're having that conversation and you explaining to me what you want and what you need and what you like? Shit, the same thing. Me fucking you the way I was fucking you last night might not please you the next day.
Right.
It might be different. I might give you the same amount of strokes, same amount of hours, all of that.
Right.
It might not be the same. Might, wanted it a different way that day. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just a little different, man. Like, I don't know, man. People change every day, so it's like it's hard for my nigga Will to keep up with young Jada. But honestly, I heard, man, once the older women get older, I think when they hit 30 plus, the sex drive go through the...
Yeah, you said that before.
Roof,
You said that before. And I can see that. I can see that Jada's freaked out. She probably want to do all types of nasty stuff. She probably got mad toys. She probably got the little rose joint. She probably got the little rose joint, the little vibrating rose. Have you seen those yet?
I have.
Oh yeah. Have you used one? Have you used one of those? I use one.
You know what I have used though? I have used the little walk around toy thing with the
with the little remote.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Right.
Oh,
yeah, man, it's freaky world.
Will need one of those.
You need to spice it
read
up.
your mind. He read your mind.
Will need to spice. It's Will's turn to spice it up. You know what, Will? Come to the Goldmember camp, G.
Word.
Yeah,
Word.
Will
Come
might need
sign
some
up.
rings. He might need some rings or something. He needs
But
something,
you know what? Stuff like this, because kind of like you said, we look at Jada and Will as like that ideal couple. Like you said, everybody wanted that Jada and Will love at one point, right? And, when you look at this, this kind of, makes me, I don't want to say fearful, but it gives me doubts because it's like, if a nigga like Will Smith, who makes hundreds of millions of dollars, was able to keep his wife for 20 years, and that's still not enough. Like he's still not.
Enough.
Yeah, then I'm never gonna be enough.
We watched another podcast, I Am Athlete, when they had their wives on.
Yeah.
And they were going crazy. Like their wives, I'm like, yo, there's no way you can ever win.
Yeah, you're never gonna win.
You'll never be able to win. You'll
never win.
You just have to tolerate, and then when there's a problem, you just gotta go with the flow.
Yeah.
The problem. You gotta really accept.
Yeah, I mean, because
everything.
because giving a woman everything that she wants, a marriage, a monogamous, relationship, that's not enough. You got to read her mind. You still got to be able to read her mind after 20 years. And what's so bad about that is that women will never be able to reciprocate that. So they want us as men to just know and to be able to read their mind. But they will never be able to just know with us. They'll never be able to just read our minds. So why are you asking me to do something that you're not even capable of doing? Because can't no female out there read my mind.
Oh, no, we're difficult.
Yeah, you'll never be able to read my mind. Never. So for you to expect me to be able to read yours and you can't reciprocate that's kind of a problem for me. That's one-sided.
But look, this is another thing, because we did just talk about the toys. So Jada just recently purchased all the toys on the Red Table Talk that old girl brought to the table.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
She bought all of them?
She bought them all.
She bought the whole collection.
She bought the whole collection of sex toys. So it's like, you got every toy in the crib, and we still can't spice it up?
Right. I mean, they had an open relationship at one point.
Hot dog in the hallway.
Yeah. Oh, man. Jada, she's throwing a hot dog in the hallway, huh?
I'm not going there.
Oh, man. I hope not. I mean, she's small, too. I hope she ain't like that. She's small. Jada's small. She ain't got no walls in that thing?
They usually can take it. They usually the ones.
Yeah, the small ones. The small ones usually can take it. Jada look like she's freaked out, though. But Will's probably tired of hitting that.
He is.
She probably got to spice it up for Will, though. Maybe she's not doing enough on her end to spice it up for Will.
Will need them gas station pills. This how he's dead. He need the Magnum John. I swear to God, I ain't never messed with none of that type of shit right there.
Oh,
but
man.
For Will's life right now, I don't know if he's like, I don't know. He might not be attracted as much anymore.
He might not be, as attracted. So, I mean, Instagram is out. There's all types of women out there.
I was about to say, because I just heard Jada talk about she was almost got a BBL, her and her daughter.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. See,
Jada's wild.
She trying to get a BBL.
She need to come see me. Come holler at me. Come holler at a young nigga, man. I'll take care of you, Jada, man. I'll be on call. You hear me? For real. She need to come see me, man. Come see a real player, you know what I mean, who's still ripe and prime. You did?
Come to Boston.
Yeah. Come to Boston.
Come to Boston.
You know what I'm saying? But yo, listen. You know, I know a lot of women are probably gonna, hear this podcast and have something to say about that. Men cannot read you all's minds. I don't care how many days, how many years. It doesn't even matter. They say it takes 21 days to even build a new habit. So, you know what I'm saying? So if you're expecting a man to just catch on, from that very moment that you express how you want to be loved or how you want to be taken care of or whatever, to me that's just so unrealistic, because it's like nobody possesses that power to be able to read someone else's mind. You can't read my mind. So why would you ask me to read yours?
It's crazy because I can guess how you're feeling at the moment.
Right.
From the expression on your face or from past experiences that we've
from
had.
Body language.
Like, body language, shit like that. Like, I can read that. But as far as you wanting this fucking bracelet that you've been dreaming about for the last 10 years for Christmas, I can't read that off the top of your head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so, I don't know, man. Jada's crazy for that, but she's going to have my man Will be out here with one of these little young Mitches.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He going to get him a young Mitch.
For sure. I mean, because she's out here playing. You know Jada's out here
like
playing.
You're not gonna I feel like Will's doing him too. He's just not.
I hope so.
He's just not out here as loud as she is because she's on this Red Table Talk for views and all that. So
yeah, and her Red Table Talks, man. And you know what? And I'm glad that her mother is always on that show.
Her mom was saying when she said that shit about the people like you should read my mind, you should know. Her mother, the OG, was like, that's not what he's gonna do, and that's not what he can do.
Right? Exactly.
He can't do that.
Yo, I love her mother. I love her mother because you know what? You know, another time her mother came in and had to correct some shit when Aisha Curry was on that show. And Aisha Curry was talking about how, even though she's married to Steph Curry, how she still wants attention from other men.
I remember that.
And Jada Pinkett's mother stepped in and was like, no, you don't. She's like, nah, correct that. Like, nah, you don't need no attention from no other man.
But I do feel like they do need to feel like, I still got it.
Yeah.
Guys, though, I'm not going to just say women. Guys need to feel like they still got it, too. But there's still more leeway for a guy to be out there. He could play longer.
Right.
A male can play longer than a female kind of could play. So it's like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, she definitely don't need that. Like,
yeah, you don't need that. You don't need,
especially with a nigga like Steph. Like, that'll fuck Steph up on the court. You know that you got like a nigga in your DM that's of his stature.
But look, that fucked me up because I'm like, it don't get no better than Steph.
He ain't looking at Steph ain't even trying to slice no.
He don't even want to smell no other kitty. None.
He ain't trying to slide nowhere. He might not even hit a strip club on the road.
Right.
What NBA nigga not doing none of that?
Yeah. Steph ain't doing strip clubs on the road.
And you want another man that like attention?
Yo,
that's kind of that's wild to me.
And that's why I said that fucked me up because like Steph is the poster boy. So like if it don't get no better than the poster boy, I don't stand a chance. Like at this point, my chances of satisfying a woman completely for the duration of our relationship is slim to none. Based off what I'm hearing from these women.
At this point, I'm not even trying to be like perfect. I don't want to be perfect. You're going to have to adjust to me at this point. I'm not trying to figure it out for you.
Yeah.
Especially when I know you'll never be satisfied. Nobody's ever satisfied. You'll never be fully happy.
I mean, but out of the top 10 men in the world, these women have them. Will Smith and Steph Curry are the top 10 men in the world.
Black men, let's just go black men.
Black men, top 10 black men in the world. And if you ain't satisfied with them, shit, I don't stand a chance.
Who else, bro?
I don't stand a chance.
And you know another thing, this is my last thing, too. This is my last thing. Because I heard Summer Walker's coming out with an album soon. And one of the names of her song is Ciara's Prayer. Ciara, Russell Wilson. Ciara.
Are they all praying for Russell Wilson?
This is what I want to know.
Oh my God.
Why they don't want to go ahead and, why can't it be Russell's prayer?
Right.
You feel me? Why got to be Ciara's?
Right.
My guy seemed like he was the one over there praying for that.
Hey.
He wanted that. Because if a guy don't want it, he ain't going to act like he's acting.
Right. And Russ he
loved that woman.
Russell Wilson seemed like he's in that Steph Curry lane where he's just like, you know what I mean?
Nobody else.
Yeah, he's just into his craft. Like he just does what he do. He does his job. He goes home.
And I ain't gonna front. I respect Ciara because she don't want it. She left Future. She got out of all that toxic shit and came and found something that she really liked. You know what I mean? Like, and she stood firm in that shit. She's not out here. Look, that's what I feel like Ayesha Curry missed. You know what I mean? Probably being homeschooled and shit like that.
Right.
She was probably in those schools where guys are paying her attention. She's a light-skinned, beautiful girl with crazy, beautiful eyes. There's no way you're in a public school and niggas ain't trying to holler.
Yeah.
You feel me? So that's how you know she missed that portion of her life. So she feels.
But wasn't she at Davidson with him though?
No.
Oh.
She was doing film like Disney and shit like that. You know what I mean? So when Steph met her, so when he finally got with her, it's like,
hey,
you done missed out on all the fun. Like, I done had some fun in college. Like, I don't need nothing else. I'm here for you, and I want you only.
But then again, think about it. Think about the type of fun that she's not having the normal fun that, most women like now. Like if we were to go on a vacation with a female, you're kind of limited, based on funds and just what you have access to. You go on vacation with Steph because Steph been rich his whole life. Mm-hmm. He is Del Curry's son. Yeah. So he grew up rich. So, those family trips is not the same. You know what I mean? Family outings.
But you got to think about it. She hasn't had those opportunities to even have a cheating moment.
Yeah, well, hey.
That's cool.
I'm saying you either got to choose those moments or the moments of growing up or being involved with the Curry family.
And that's the problem. Like, she don't got that experience. She don't know. Like, man, there's females over there that I wish they never had that issue.
cheating or just a regular experience, a regular adolescent, young adult experience, or the Final Four experience. Where, your man is playing in the Final Four, national television, NBA draft, NBA championships.
But that's the thing. None of that's
sitting up there. No, she's been up there with Michelle. She's doing work with Michelle Obama right now because of Steph Curry.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. She didn't get to live that young life of making mistakes. So
you gotta choose. So you're gonna be ungrateful about that, or you're gonna be grateful about this.
You do gotta choose.
Because there are millions of women who would trade their high school life to give all of that up and be with a Steph Curry.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's all she's saying. That's what she's saying. I'm not saying this right. I hate that she even said it.
Yeah. No, she fucked me up when she said she almost ruined my life.
I hate that she even said it, but at the same time, like, I agree with her. She ain't had those experiences. A sneaky link. She get a sneaky link now. It's gonna fuck my nigga up. She's gonna fuck Steph up. That's what I'm saying. And she probably had a sneaky link. I ain't gonna give it away, man. Let's get off of Stephanie.
Whatever it is, but these females is out here tripping. That's all we got to say. It ain't no satisfying these women, man. They want niggas to provide for them, protect them, love them, spoil them, and read their minds. On top of that, it's out of this world.
I wish she can experience a sneaky link. That's all.
Hey, listen, man.
Not that, but I wish she got a chance.
She better take all them NBA championship, that $200 million deal.
And that's when you in your basketball career, and then a female leave you, like.
But you know what?
That experience.
But you know what? And that's why most women don't know the 80-20 rule.
Like Melo right now.
You don't give up 80% of what you have for 20% of what you don't have. And so attention, sex, whatever, reading your mind. That's the 20%. You don't give up the 80% for the 20% of what you don't have. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, Melo's tripping too because Lala's out here. She talking about she want to date and all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's Melo. What I said. But that's towards the end of his career. Now he's about to be done.
Yeah, but she's gone. Melo's gone. Lala's gone.
She's not gone.
She's gone.
She's gonna have her fun, but she's not going.
She's gone.
She's on Mello's life insurance. She's not going.
Hey, listen, man. Well, hopefully, she ain't. But
she's gonna have another baby by Mello.
But I want to hear from the ladies out there on this topic. So if you're listening to this episode, man, feel free to hit us up. Let us know what you think. Drop a comment under the episode, man, so we can get your feedback on this Jada Pinkett Smith topic.
Give Jada a round of applause.
For sure. But there was some more controversial news, man. This next topic is a little bit touchy. And so if you remember, for all of our podcast listeners out there, if you remember the young black man, Jacob Blake, that was killed a few years ago in Wisconsin. He was shot by the police. That actually led to some protests and even some riots in Milwaukee. And I'm not sure if most people remember, but there was a instance at one of the protests where a young white kid by the name of Kyle Rittenhouse had an assault rifle. He was walking through the street with a loaded assault rifle and got into a confrontation with some of the protesters and drew his weapon, drew his assault rifle, shot and killed 2 protesters and then wounded a 3rd protester before he was actually arrested by the police. And I don't know if you remember, but there was a lot of outrage because he had his assault rifle out and he walked right past the police. The police paid him no mind.
He went home, right?
I'm not sure if he went home, but I know that they didn't immediately target him. But there was a lot of outrage because the police just kind of neglected to even arrest him, and he's walking out in the open with an assault rifle. And then later on, he was arrested, and then ultimately he was charged with these murders. And as of recently, the trial it's starting. I'm not sure if it's already begun, but the trial is starting in Wisconsin, and it came out in the news that the Wisconsin judge, whose name is actually, they got his name here in the article. His name is Judge Bruce Schroeder. He's the Kenosha County Circuit Judge. And I guess, during the opening statements of the trial, the judge made a statement saying that the prosecutors, the district attorney, couldn't use the term victims when referring to the 2 people who were shot and killed by Kyle Rittenhouse. And so I'm just going to read a little bit of it because the judge actually made a statement, and this is what he said. He said, "Let the evidence show what the evidence shows, that any or one of these people were engaged in arson, rioting, or looting, then I'm not going to tell the defense they can't call them that." And so the judge is speaking of the defense side, Kyle Rittenhouse's attorneys, basically giving them the green light to call the victims, the 2 people who were shot and killed by Kyle Rittenhouse, to call them arsonists, rioters, and looters. And so, and I'm only saying this because I kind of want to set the playing field and then get your thoughts on it, right? So then you had the district attorney who is prosecuting Kyle Rittenhouse. He said this. This is what the district attorney said to the judge. He said, "If I were to count the number of times that you admonished me not to call someone a victim during a trial, it would be in the thousands." And it says in the article that this particular judge is known for not allowing attorneys to call dead people pretty much victims during the trial. So I just wanted to lay kind of the playing field of both sides to show people that it's not just one-sided. Like, this is what the judge is saying, but the prosecutor did kind of fight against this.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that judge was at the Capitol buildings a couple months ago acting crazy. You heard?
He probably would.
I won't be surprised if
He
he
probably
was
sent
down
them.
there.
He probably sent
them down there.
He
He
probably
might have
sent
got
them,
a
yeah.
couple of them dudes out of jail or whatnot. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
might have, his family might be down with the team, the KKK team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or whatever the case may be. But I'm gonna tell you what I said, because I don't like to call it white privilege no more, bro. I'm gonna change it up. I'm just gonna call it the privilege.
The privilege.
Just
okay.
like we got the community, we got the privilege. All right, so I feel like that's just the privilege. You know what I mean? Because we had a kid, Trayvon Martin, walking around with Skittles.
Yeah.
This kid walking around with an assault rifle after firing it and killing someone. Yo, bro, when that happened, can I tell you what I was doing? I was at work, right, during the overnight. I hopped on Twitter because, you know, it was the riots and shit. Everybody's in the house, you know what I mean? So I'm on Twitter checking out the riots. You can watch this shit live on Twitter while it was going on. Like, somebody's live and they're showing the person shot between the cars and shit. So, like, I have that traumatic experience that people had while they were there. Like, I seen the people shot on the floor, the lady.
Right.
You know what I mean? And all of that. And to come and sit and I look at the dude's picture, like, I'm looking at him, he looks like a fucking, what's that? The Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeah.
But just a little bit slimmer.
Yeah.
You feel me? And it's like, yo, he's kind of got this little killer smirk. Like, it's like, yo, he might beat this.
He might
beat this. I don't know. There was in Wisconsin, dude. They got certain kind of gun rules down there. Like, you know, like they do in Florida, stand your ground, or whatever the case may be. I'm not sure if they got those kind of rules there, but it just seems like privilege to me, bro. That's all I can really chalk it up to, is privilege in the fact that the fucking judge, he just got no say in anything. He's just on his, you know, he's a young white man. Like, we're gonna work with him.
Yeah.
And if you look at the judge, look at him, bro.
I mean, he looked like a racist.
He's definitely getting him out of the situation.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I mean, and what kind of struck me about this case,
I do like that the legal team, like the opposite, that the defense attorney stated that. You know what I mean? Like, yo, like, you really not trying to let my people be victims that I'm over here standing for. Like, you know what I mean? You really calling them rioters as if they're fucking terrorists.
And supposedly, I mean, just the way the whole judicial system is set up is that chances are this district attorney knows this judge very well. You know what I mean? If he's the district attorney and this is the county judge, they see each other a lot, pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Pretty much every day between the hours of 9 and 5, they see each other. So I think that's why he said, you know, if I had to count how many times you told me that I can't call someone a victim during a trial, he said it would be in the thousands.
And that just shows you right there, like, why can't you call these people victims? What am I supposed to call them? They're not alive. They're not rioting.
Right.
They are victims. You know what I mean? Like, what else are they?
Right.
Besides not alive, you know what I mean? God rest their souls. But, like, what else are we supposed to call them in the courtroom?
Yeah. I mean, they were a victim of something. You know what I mean? Regardless of what they did prior. And I'm actually going to read a statement.
Because they could have not have been rioting or looting anymore. They could have been going home.
Right.
So they're not rioters. They're not looters.
Right. So I'm glad you said that. So a CNN analyst actually made this statement. She said he didn't have that information when he pulled the trigger and shot these 3 individuals, killing 2 of them. So his state of mind is what's on trial. And the fact that he didn't know that they were involved in these activities makes that evidence irrelevant.
See? And that literally just popped up in my head. Like, he don't know them people.
Yeah,
he don't know
or he didn't know what they were doing prior to him engaging with them.
Yeah, he just felt when them motherfuckers pulled him to the floor or whatever, that he just had to shoot whoever's around. Like, he could have just shot anybody out there.
Right.
Well, he did just shoot any fucking body because he didn't know them people.
Right. And so I
think Proud Boy?
He probably is a Proud Boy. I mean, he's out there with an assault rifle. He's a Proud Boy.
He's a young Proud Boy?
He's a Proud Boy. He's out there with an assault rifle.
Oh, bro. All right, since we're on this too, right quick, I watched the documentary on the Capitol building the other day, and the Proud Boys and all the stuff that they were doing and how they're about to beat all of those cases too.
Oh yeah, probably.
They're smacking those cases. They probably get a little bit of jail time and a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
But the privilege is working, man. So watch out for the privilege.
Yeah, for sure. But, you know, another point I was going to make about this is that this kind of brought me back to the George Floyd case because I watched that entire trial, right? And it was interesting. Now, this is the total opposite of it with this Kyle Rittenhouse kid, because I think that the judge in the George Floyd case, I think he did a real good job of keeping both sides, keeping the prosecutor and the defense attorneys like in between the lines, like same type of thing. Like he didn't allow them to he didn't allow the defense attorneys to, talk about, what George Floyd had did prior, because they were talking about the fact that he was on drugs.
Yeah.
And the judge didn't allow them to really talk about that. He didn't allow them to talk about how high George Floyd was or what George Floyd was thinking or, what crime he was trying to get away from, because they were trying to put all of those things, factor those things into the case, and the judge wouldn't allow it.
Because it was irrelevant.
Yeah, because it was just irrelevant, or it didn't even really matter because that's not what they were there trying to solve.
Yeah, no.
Whether he was on drugs or not, they was trying to solve whether or not the cops' procedure was right or wrong. You know what I mean? So everything else factored in. That judge didn't allow it. And so, I got to see how it worked in favor of the prosecutor and of the victims. You know what I mean? But in this case, it's like you said, he's trying to use this in favor of the kid so that he gets privilege in this whole thing. So it's funny how you get to see, both sides of it, to see how those, but then again.
And you got to actually be into just court shit, this type of matter. Like you really got to pay attention to the small details that be going on, because it be the small shit that you're not paying attention to that be the big factor at the end of a court case like this.
Right. And sometimes these attorneys, they try to take things in a different direction, or just kind of, like I said, factor in different things that aren't really relevant to the issue, because, just like that political analyst said, he didn't know ahead of time what these individuals were up to. So that's not even the matter, that we're trying to resolve. The matter is the act that he took once he actually engaged with these people. So, really interesting to see.
With blunt force. Like he came.
Yeah, and I mean, who comes to a protest with a gun, with a loaded gun? You obviously came with the intent to use it.
At that age, I don't even think he was old enough to shoot. He's just now turning 17.
Right.
So it's like you did come out there to shoot, young.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Nah, but man, we're gonna follow this case, man. I'm interested to see what happens with this. I mean, I think that everyone's pretty much, hoping for the same verdict. So, we'll see what happens, man. But heart goes out to the two victims who passed away and the third victim who was wounded. And man, shout out to Jacob Blake, because this is kind of what sparked this whole thing to happen. This incident. This incident spiraled from the Jacob Blake incident.
And that cop beat that.
Did he? Yeah, I think so. Or I don't think that they
didn't charge him.
Yeah, he didn't get charged.
So
he didn't. Yeah, he didn't get. Yeah, so he beat it. He beat it before it even started. So yeah, man. But we're gonna follow this story. Definitely some more into the future, man. But we got one more topic, bro. And this one, has been in the news cycle for some time now. And it kind of goes back into the whole COVID vaccine mandate. And so, different cities, different states, different parts of the country, are being put under this vaccine mandate. And there's a recent date that President Joe Biden has put out for federal workers and people who are under federal contracts and federal subcontracts. And it's resulted in, I think they said, up to 4 million people have quit their job as of I think the month of August this year. Over 4 million people have walked off their job sites due to the COVID vaccine mandate.
See my expression? They about to make that 4 million in one.
Hey.
I'm tired of these motherfuckers. It ain't even about the vax. It ain't even about the vax. I really just tired of working. It's like, I ain't gonna front. I feel like a lot of the people who left the job, they didn't leave off the strength of they have to get a vaccine. I feel like they got comfortable in their situations over the last year and a half. Some people found a way to not have to go back to work, and some people found a way to still get unemployment. And I feel like that's what's, was kind of forcing people, 4 million people with no jobs, and they're actually surviving.
Since August. So that 4 million's probably gone up since.
That's what I'm saying. And they're still surviving out here without, getting a consistent check every week. So, people are finding different ways now. People are starting their own businesses. Some people actually save that money so they can, invest right or do certain shit with the money. I feel like those people who did right with their unemployment are up right now. They can quit their job.
Yeah.
They can quit because they did constructive shit with it. Either way, they went and got into another business, started another venture, whatever it is, like bought some property. Yeah, people are doing real big shit with that money, and it is some people who just bought designer, and they got to go back to work.
Yeah, but this is where the impact gets really big, right? With this entire thing, and so as we said, millions of people have quit their jobs, and we're talking about everyday working class folks. People in health, people in restaurants and hospitality and different things like that. These people are quitting their jobs, but there's another industry of people that are being affected by this, and there's kind of a trickle down effect down to people all the way like us. And so here I'm gonna paint that picture for you. So it says, President Joe Biden's vaccine order will force employers to lay off thousands of workers, making the supply chain crisis much worse, a major business group warned the White House this week. The National Association of Wholesaler Distributors, an influential trade group that represents an industry with nearly 6 million workers, is pleading with the administration to delay a December 8th deadline for employers of federal contractors to get vaccinated. Last part. If tens or hundreds of thousands of employees are terminated just 2 weeks before Christmas, the results could be nothing short of catastrophic for the newly unemployed and their families and for the U.S. economy. So what they're basically saying is these national wholesalers and distributors who actually make up our supply chain. So all the supplies that we count on to get through wholesalers and distributors, we may not be able to get that stuff anymore, or it may slow down. And so there was another part of this article that I wanted to read because it talks specifically about the different industries of folks that are going to be impacted by this thing. And so basically that's what they're saying. Like people who work in like the shipyards with the big shipping tanks who get all these different products that we use on a daily basis.
So the logistics would really be fucked up about everything.
Logistics,
that's mainly what's
products would have been slowed down. Just our entire supply chain. Mm-hmm. Here it is. It says the trades group members include groceries, lumber, florists, beer, wine, and various other distributors. So one of the major one is groceries. So that means that the grocery stores, Stop and Shop, BJ's, Walmart, they may not be able to get their groceries in time or as much
the bulk order,
because you're going to have 6 million people who are responsible for delivering for this stuff laid off.
And I could also think of another company that'll be in there, Amazon. Regardless of it being, virtual, they still got people in warehouses housing this stuff and shipping this stuff out. Yeah. And if they got to cut people in employment, I could see Christmas gifts and all of that type of stuff being in a big delay as well, like they said, you know what I mean? So even though they didn't, give a specific company, but I could see that happening with FedEx and what's the one that's yellow and red, MSD or something, DSL or some shit like that. Yep. You know what I mean? All of those logistic-like companies, they're all going to be in trouble because if they don't got people who are vaccinated, I don't even like to use the word vaccinated. I'm going to say the jab Because I heard that's why they be kind of blocking people's shit sometimes, man. They don't want you to say, vax and all that shit. You won't get as many views or many whatever. You know what I mean? They start shadow banning.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like, I don't know. I hope that we get our groceries. Like, I think we'll get our groceries in time for Thanksgiving. But end the year off, this is gonna be crazy. Like, we got New Year's coming up. That's a real big holiday season type of,
Yeah.
Like
florists. We're talking. It says groceries. It says lumber. Think about all the stuff that we use wood for.
Yeah.
For furniture and
wood,
fire, paper. Everything for your home. Fonto, beer, wine.
I need my wine this winter. I ain't even gonna
Come
hold
on,
you.
that's all the bars and liquor stores.
And there's a lot of people who are investing in wine and shit like that. So I'm sure that this shit's probably gonna slow up. And hopefully that the President Biden do kind of push this back, because I've seen a lot of doctors and a lot of people who do have to that December 8th. Is it, the 8th or the 18th?
The 8th.
December 8th deadline, and they kind of bugging. Like, I got people out here about to, act like they part of a certain religion.
Right.
Just to try to get through, you know what I mean? And it's like, they really trying to put everybody's livelihood on the line for this jab, you know what I mean? But it's like...
And so they actually reached out to the White House, and this is
got pushback.
What the coronavirus response coordinator said. His name is Jeff Zients. This is what he said. He said vaccination requirements work. They've increased vaccination rates by 20 plus percentage points, over 90% in most organizations. So it doesn't seem like they're really buying into the need to push the deadline back. It seems like, no, we're gonna enforce the deadline because these vaccination mandates is making 20+% of the workforce actually go out and get the vaccination.
And what's so crazy about it, they're making them do it because it's a requirement, it's a demand. But another thing they're doing, they do a lot of contradicting themselves when they say that shit, because then another day an article will come out literally saying that people who's getting the jab is contracting it more than people who don't got it.
Right.
Like, they'll say shit like that, and then they'll try to cover it up with a statistic like, if more people get it, the more we'll be able to go outside. Like, no, niggas ain't going outside regardless. Like, it's about to be cold outside for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like we're in the 6th season. I call it the 6th season, the flu season, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where it's just going to get nasty. So, like, if you do got the vaccine, it's not stopping you from getting this common cold.
Right.
But it is stopping you from getting coronavirus. So,
right.
I don't know, man. I just feel as though, I hope we do push back, try to do a New Year's thing or something shit like that. I don't know. But we do need our Christmas gifts. We need our food. We need to get ready for New Year's. I'm trying to go into the new year right.
Yeah. I want to see what's gonna happen. Like I said, if Christmas gifts are showing up late, we know why. You know what I mean?
And that's why I said a couple weeks ago, man, make sure you ordering your gifts now.
Yeah, getting them now or going into the store to actually purchase it and walk out with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, it's saying it right here. Last quote, it says, come December, many companies will be able to keep products moving through their warehouses and distribution centers to satisfy growing consumer demand if forced to terminate these essential workers. And so, it's pretty much predicting, what this whole holiday season is going to be like. And then I think another thing to consider further down the line is what happens when these 6 million people then try to enter back into the workforce. What's those hiring processes going to be like? Because look, I was just negotiating a deal with an employer that I'm looking to sign with, and it took like 4 months for us to even get to this deal, like to get to the point where we're now ready to sign a deal. You know what I mean? And it's just showing that everything is moving slowly. People are not in the offices as much as they were. We
just hired a new computer director at my job, but we hired him 3 months ago. Right? And now he's being trained at another building for 2 more months before he come to us. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But, I don't know how that's going to go. Are they going to require everybody at every job to have their vax card when they come in for an interview? Because that'd be crazy that they don't ask for your diploma, but they asking for the vax card.
Yeah.
'Cause they do not ask for your diploma at any
Yeah. No job. No job
asks for your diploma. They don't care if you went to college, but they might ask for your vaccination card.
Yeah, they
which
might.
is wild.
Yeah, they might. They just might.
That's wild.
So, another story, for us to follow, man. I mean, we got a couple, stories that we touched on that we're going to do some follow-ups on and just keep the conversation going. I mean, like I said, this is going to, we have until December 8th to see what happens with this deadline. And then, we'll be able to talk about what the holiday seasons are going to be looking like, what the grocery stores are going to be looking like. So I'm interested to see what happens, man. I'm interested to follow this story. Yeah, we got a few more stories we're going to follow. The Kyle Rittenhouse story. What else? The Alec Baldwin story. A few of them, man. The mayor's election. We're gonna, as of next week, the city of Boston will have a new mayor, man. We'll be under new leadership, so we'll definitely do another follow-up episode on that.
Definitely let you know if Will get caught, man, outside, man, trying to step out. I don't blame him,
Word, for sure. For sure, man. But shout out to all of our listeners, man. Everybody that's out there supporting the Goldmembers Podcast. Make sure you check us out on all the top streaming platforms. That's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, and Google. Bro, tell them where to find us on social media.
Definitely find us, man, at the Goldmembers Podcast on Instagram. Make sure y'all follow, tab, subscribe, and share, man. Make sure y'all like all the pictures, too. Also, join our Facebook group. It's actually growing. I'm actually proud of it, man. We almost got like 200 people in there, man. We just want to be able to share with y'all. So make sure y'all follow us on there, man.
Most definitely, man. I'm one half for the Goldmembers Podcast. Oh, hold on, wait. Before we close the show, gotta give a happy belated birthday to the legend Stack Bundles, man.
For sure, man.
If y'all wondered, man, we've been playing Stack Bundles the whole show. Gotta show love to the legend, man. Stack Bundles, man.
One of my
Rest
favorite
in peace.
all time, man. The gorgeous gangster, man. I love him, man. Hopefully, man, they find something about his murder, man, because give his family some type of justice.
I need a new album. I need some unreleased Stack.
I heard Jimmy got it.
Yeah, you need to put it out.
Put it out, Jimmy. Stop holding shit.
Put it out, Capo.
You heard?
You already know, but I'm one half for the Goldmembers Podcast. Certified Gold member Herb Reed.
I'm the other half of the Goldmembers Podcast, man. Tyson, man. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Goldmembers.
You already know. Follow me on all social media at Herb Reed. That's HERBREAD, man. Check us out on our future websites. And like we said, man, it's that time of the year. So go back and listen to all of our past episodes. I'm sure you're going to be entertained.